Now, I got to say this. For hours, I heard Dallas sucks. I did 2 shows. I was out there 4 hours and amongst the people of Philly. Y'all caught that L, though. This is just Swagu talking mess. It's all fair. Hold that L. What up, family? We back. Episode 5 of Swagu Podcast. Y'all, I've been on the road. And it's starting to get into my bones and my blood, and I was in Philly. I got a lot to talk about today, a lot to cover. It was a phenomenal weekend. Jason Kelce returned to Philly, but Philly was a different experience for me, and I'm sure y'all know why.
Let me go get some love.
So let me get right into it. Monday Night Countdown, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A former Cowboy went back, and it was a mess.
Yeah. You got to get back to playing the line of scrimmage and figuring out if you have the guys to do it. But the displacement at the line of scrimmage is the worst I've seen in a long time.
It was a mess in the best possible way. I leave, I fly in Monday morning, I get there, I get settled and situated. We were at Xfinity Live, a great spot, actually, for the Philly fans to come and watch the game. But I was amongst the people. And a little bit of me was like, should I be concerned about, if something can go down? Because we know how Philly fans are. I've experienced them for 8 years when I was playing with the Cowboys. We had to go there at least one time a year. And I understand the love that they have for their football team and the hate that they have for the other team. All I heard was Dallas sucks. Super unfortunate because, obviously the Cowboys came off of a loss that was very embarrassing, and they did suck. But I wasn't taking that from the Philly fans. Not taking that from them. We can win a Super Bowl, and they still would have said Dallas sucks. But it was an interesting thing happening, though. I got to be honest. It was an interesting thing happening. While I was a former Cowboy there, I was also Swagu from ESPN, and I got a lot of love. So it was kind of like a mixed emotion. But I had to go amongst the crowd during some segments when I was doing TV. We had to walk through the crowd when we was going to and from the stage. And Dallas sucks and then a pound. And Dallas sucks and Swagu, we love you, bro. You could see how in the hell I could be confused. I didn't know how to respond. I was like, are we pounding or are we Dallas sucking? I don't know. But all in all, it was a great time. Philly fans showed out, man. It was, I must say, and I said this to a lot of the people there, a lot of the fans there that I had a chance to interact with, I was like, I can understand why this city wins. I can understand why they have a tremendous amount of success. And I can understand why sports in Philly, because I've heard people say this, and everybody has their own opinion about where they at, where they from, what they do. But I can understand why people say Philly is the best sports town. I understand it. Right now, we would think that Boston would have the advantage. Obviously, the Celtics, you had the Patriots running for a long time, Red Sox, and it's a lot of championships within that culture. But we talking about Philly right now, and I can absolutely understand why Philly is considered one of those cities. Bro, them people crazy as hell, bro. And they love the Philadelphia Eagles. They rock stars. But they also will grill you and boo you and tear your ass apart if you ain't playing well. It's like I was. Dallas sucks. Swag, we love you. All right, so what we doing? Are we hugging? Are we cursing each other out? Do I need to keep it moving before we have a fight? I'm in the middle of this space. I don't know what to do. But I think more than anything, we were on good terms by the time we left. Now, I got to say this because for hours, I heard Dallas sucks. I did 2 shows. I was out there 4 hours and amongst the people of Philly. Did 2 shows. I heard Dallas sucks. Y'all caught that L, though. This just swag. This just Swagu talking mess. It's all fair. It's all fair. Y'all caught that L against Atlanta, and I picked y'all to win. Y'all caught that L. So there was a little bit of karma that night after I finished watching that game. Now, you didn't get beat as bad as Dallas did, but a loss is a loss is a loss. So as much as I heard Dallas suck and y'all heckled me and all the love y'all gave me, we still have a disdain for each other when it comes to sports. And the fan of me after dealing with after the things that y'all put me through, this emotional roller coaster that y'all put me on, I'm glad y'all caught that L. Because yeah, I'm gonna go with the small group of people that told me Dallas sucks and get the hell out of Philly. I'm gonna deal with them. Y'all caught that L. To the great people that I had great run-ins with in relationships, and we started talking and we had a good time. To the lady, you know who you are. I wish I would have got your name. To the lady who was saying Dallas sucks when nobody else in the crowd was saying it. Mad love. That's who I was standing by. Hopefully we can clip that for y'all. I was standing right by. She had a sign. She was the one saying Dallas sucks when the whole crowd had stopped. Hold that L. On another note, while in Philly, I think the most important thing that happened is Jason Kelce returned as a NFL analyst on Monday Night Countdown. It did not feel like it, though. It did not feel like he was an NFL analyst Monday. It felt like the prodigal son had returned. The people were so happy to see Kelce. I think he embodied a lot of what they believe in Philly. Tough, gritty, played a center, won championships, says a lot of curse words, drinks beer, puts on a Philly tuxedo. Y'all saw the green velour suit. He was hot as hell. That thing looked so hot. But it was good to see, man. He did a lot of work there, did a lot of phenomenal things in Philly, won championships, obviously. And you could see how the people gravitate to him because he embodied what I think they think of themselves in Philly, especially when it comes to their football team. He had a great time. There's a viral clip of him dancing on the stage. There was a DJ booth away from our set. He was on the stage dancing. He looked athletic. He looked like he can still play, to be honest with you. Y'all, he had these old man New Balance on. And I asked him, I said, why you wearing them New Balance, man? Shout out to New Balance. New Balance got some good shoes, but Jason was wearing the ones that you wear when you're 65 and retired. He retired, but he ain't 65. He wore them Coach. We call them shoes Coach. Anytime we see you with thick soles, wide length, those are Coach shoes, meaning coach. That's what coaches wear because they always on their feet. I said, why you got them Coach New Balance on? He was like, hey, man, as you get older, you got to have comfort over style. I said, bro, they make stylish, comfortable shoes now. It was a mess. But my man cleaned up, though. He cleaned up later on. He put on his suit. It was green. He went in the booth with Joe and Troy. But, man, Philly loves Jason Kelce, as they should. The man represents a lot of what that city, I think, prides themselves on. It was fun to watch. It was fun to watch his homecoming. Did we overdo it a bit at ESPN? Probably. We probably did. You know, it was a coronation. But why not overdo it for a Super Bowl champ, first year in TV, second week going back to Philly where he just finished playing? Why not overdo it? It was just dope. And we're going to have him on the show. Trying to book the Kelces right now is like trying to book the president. So it takes a while. Me and Jason rock with each other. My man going to do me a solid. He going to join the Swagu Podcast. We're going to have a good-ass time because that's all me and him do when we get together. Y'all know what big dude. Y'all know how big dudes act when we get together. Stop acting like y'all. You're skinny dudes, you're dudes that's in shape, which me and Jason have made a vow that we both going to get in shape. Not going to get skinny, but we both going to get in shape. Y'all get together in y'all suits and y'all cross y'all legs and y'all smoke y'all cigars. Y'all drink a scotch. Jason has a beer. I got cognac. We sitting there. We just wide-legged. We just sitting, slouching in the chair. And we just look like two regular dudes. That's us. That's how we're going to do the podcast. I was glad to see Jason back, man, and people showed him mad love. I met Jalen Brunson. Bro, Jalen Brunson cool, bro. I like Jalen Brunson a lot. Jalen Brunson is a starting star point guard for the New York Knicks. He's revitalized that Knicks culture. He's put the hopes and the dreams back into Knicks fans that they can make playoff runs and win NBA championships. But he's a Philadelphia Eagles fan. He's a lefty. He's crafty. And as you guys get to know me and get to know some of my personal life, my son is a basketball player. He's a lefty. He's 6'8". Jalen Brunson not 6'8", but Jalen Brunson played like he's 7'5", because he does what he wants on the basketball court. But I was able to meet him at the game. Once we went into the stadium, Jalen was there. We had him on Monday Night Countdown. He picked Philly, obviously. Showed Jason Kelce a lot of love, showed RC and me a lot of love, and Scott Van Pelt. But more importantly, man, I had to get to business. Wasn't worried about no damn football at that time. I'm in the midst of meeting one of the best basketball players in the NBA, who happens to be a lefty, who happens to be super crafty, and I got a son with an aspiring dream to go to the damn NBA. So what I do, I say, Jalen, I need my son to work out with you, dog. I need you to pass some of that knowledge, man. I need some of them breadcrumbs that you got that you can lead along the path so Marcus Spears Jr. can potentially make it to the NBA because he has the information that he needs. I got a 15-year-old, bro. He wants to be an NBA basketball player. I need him to come train with you. Now, at times, y'all, I love like not using the fame and celebrity card, but I had to. I had Jalen Brunson in my sights. He was right there. I couldn't think about nothing but how good he was in basketball, how his dad was there as well, how his dad pushed him when he was young. I'm doing the same thing with my son. That'll be a podcast later about pushing your kids. And some parents think it's too much. Some parents don't think it's too much. We'll get there. But anyway, I told Jalen, I told him about my son. I asked him about my son. And I said, I need him to come train with you, man. I'll bring him to where you at. He was like, all right, cool. That's the best, Swag. I said, okay. Bro, this summer, in between tournaments, when he got time, we going to come work with the lefty. That's probably the most important thing happened on the Philly trip, to be honest with you. But I just want to tell America, Jalen Brunson, cool, man. And he ain't willing to help all y'all kids, so settle the hell down. But he a Philadelphia Eagles fan who's going to train my son, who's going to train with my son, try to show him the ropes. But I got to tell Jalen what I told Philly fans. Hold that L. Yo, I got to get into it, man. It feels like an unfortunate situation, but it also is a part of the league that I cover now, but the league that I was in. And y'all know where I'm going. I know I'm hyping, I'm having fun, but this is a serious situation, and it deserves a certain tone. Probably not going to give it that tone the whole talk because, that's just not who I am. I'll be asking y'all to send me fan questions. And Willie from X, his mama named him Willie. I'm going to call him Willie. Willie from X. So what Willie asks. Good morning, Swag. Man, it warms my heart when y'all call me Swag. That's Swagu, Swag. I get it. I know what you're saying, man. What's up, Willie? Congrats on the show. With the benching of Bryce Young, were all those people wrong who said he was going in the best situation for a QB ever? Would they be wrong about Caleb Williams' situation as well? Now everyone is saying they are in terrible situations. Willie, this is a great freaking question. You know why it's a great question? Because this is the beauty and the other side of when we as analysts and people looking at certain situations, and you think about historical references, and I'm alluding to Bryce Young coaching staff with Frank Reich and McCown, and there was a lot of people on that team that's been around some high-level quarterback play, and assuming that was a great situation for a young quarterback to go in was feasible because he was going to be around a lot of dudes in Carolina that have coach quarterbacks that are really, really good and coach them at a high level. But God, were we wrong. Yes, we were wrong on the Bryce Young situation. But, Willie, there's a caveat. And that leads me into talking about this situation for Bryce Young. It's a great question, man. We appreciate it. Keep them coming. Bryce Young was drafted to the Carolina Panthers. Same draft that C.J. Stroud came in. I don't care how you feel about it. When you got quarterbacks taken very close to each other, the comparison is going to always be there. It's not unfair as football. Some things I say, it's not unfair as football. That's just how it goes. DeMarcus Ware was drafted 11th to the Dallas Cowboys. I was drafted 20th. DeMarcus Ware is arguably one of the greatest pass rushers to ever play in the NFL. I was a run stopper. I was always compared to DeMarcus Ware, even though we did two completely different jobs. It just happened. It's the NFL. DeMarcus Ware got a gold jacket. I don't. It's a comparison that is by default a part of your circumstance when you get drafted. In my case, same team. In Bryce Young case, a pick later. I think, yeah, if I'm wrong, it is what it is. Like I told y'all, it's my podcast. But C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young drafted in the same draft. We know how C.J. Stroud took off in Houston last year. We've seen the struggles with Bryce. I think this is 19 games that it is taken for Bryce Young to be benched. That's super unfortunate, man. And there is no way you're going to make me believe that the kid I watched at the University of Alabama be, to me, what I thought was the best quarterback in college football, play at a very high level, have a tremendous amount of success, turned into this on his own. Did he stop working? Did he not take being a quarterback seriously? I don't think any of that is the case. Coaches, scouts, people talked about Bryce on the chalkboard. They talked about how smart he was, talked about his instinctive play, how he could make plays. People were concerned about his size. That was a real thing going into it. We were like, oh, he's little. But also was Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson. Height, they bigger, they more bulkier. Kyler is way more dynamic as far as an athlete in space. But we use those as sample size. But the size was the thing that everybody brought up. But I still thought his play, me personally, Swagu Podcast, I thought his play warranted him to be the number 1 overall pick because of what he did. And here's the thing. This hindsight crap that everybody talks about, you draft based on what dudes do in college. You also project. And at the time Bryce Young was in the draft, he was projected to be, in some people's opinion, the number 1 overall pick because of what he did in college. And you're trying to project of what he's going to be in the NFL. Now, let me get to the situation in Carolina. Dave Tepper, the owner of the Carolina Panthers. I'm just gathering myself so I don't get too pissed off, because Dave Tepper has made some awful decisions. He had Frank Reich and that coaching staff, fired them, go to the interim role, and then in the offseason you hire Canales. Steve Wilkes also had taken over and was having some success. Decided to go a different direction. You hired Dave Canales, who had a phenomenal year in Tampa last year with Baker Mayfield as the offensive coordinator. A kid that you drafted almost less than 2.5 calendar years ago has had 3 head coaches. And we expect him to do what? I'm waiting. Tepper. Carolina Panthers brass. This ain't all on Bryce Young. Bryce Young went into a locker room where his offensive line wasn't stable, where he wasn't supported with the type of weapons that you need in the NFL to play at a very high level. Bryce Young got his flaws. That ain't what I'm getting at. He got some throws where there's no excuse for it. But when your ass getting hit left and right, and you looking out there like, who I'm gonna throw this ball to? And no shade to Adam Thielen, but Adam Thielen had phenomenal years in Minnesota. That's my number 1 wide receiver in a league where you need cyborgs playing the number 1 wide receiver who can get open no matter what the situation is. And I'm a rookie. It's coming at me fast mentally, physically, and I don't have the requisite things that I need actually on the field to be successful as a quarterback, and I don't have the things that I need within the organization to be a successful quarterback, and people going to get on TV and get on radio and talk about how bad Bryce Young is. I don't like saying things are unfair in the NFL because it's a league made up of men that got to make the best out of what they do. This was unfair for the young dude, bro. It's a horrible situation to be in. And what I talked about on Monday Night Countdown when the news broke from Shefty was the man looks broken. He looks like he doesn't have any confidence. That's what happened to young players when you put them in the trash and in trash situations with an erratic owner who makes moves just because he feels like it. No stability, don't know who your coaches are going to be, don't have a really good team around you, actually traded away one of your best players, turmoil surrounding a rookie quarterback. And what we think he going to do? We think he going to play his way out of it. Oh, and for the ones that compare C.J. Stroud, D'Amico Ryans was hired. The team put themselves in a better situation. They got an all-pro, Pro Bowl left tackle in Laramie Tunsil. The run game wasn't the greatest, but supportive. You had wide receivers. And not only did they do that the first year, because I want to give C.J. Stroud credit for what he was able to do, but they actually went and compounded in free agency and signed guys to make the team better. Diggs, you bring over Danielle Hunter on defense. One organization who was in the pits, by the way. Let me remind you, a few years ago, I'm loud because I'm pissed off for the young man. A few years ago, we looked at the Houston Texans as what we look at Carolina at right now. But Carolina didn't want to, and their owner, David Tepper, didn't want to take the template that the Houston Texans put in place in order to put their young quarterback in a situation where not only could you allow him to flourish, but you insulate him a little bit if he struggles along the way. And I got to hear people talk about Bryce Young just mysteriously forgot how to play football and he can't do it on this level. Man, get the hell out of here with that. Situations, and I got to give some of my colleagues a lot of credit, man. And because I say some of them don't mean the other ones, just they haven't spoken on it. Lou Riddick, I think one of the best football minds that I've ever been around, talked about how important the situations are that these young rookie quarterbacks are put in when they get to the NFL. Look, I'm not dismissing the quarterback if he's bad. I don't think after 19 games we can determine that. Especially in the situation in Carolina. Dan Orlovsky, who I work with, Dan always talks about what's the infrastructure? How are we going to judge them? Pisses me off, man. Because I know how hard it is to play in this league. Especially at that position that's so polarizing. And no matter what quarterback comes right now to Carolina, until they have their own level of success, especially if they draft you, you will always be compared to Cam Newton. And Cam Newton was phenomenal. That's something Gun could play now. But you're gonna be compared to that. I feel terrible for the man because he was put in an impossible situation. Willie, who asked that question, we were absolutely wrong about the infrastructure that Bryce Young was going to. And it started with the owner of the football team. Now, I got that off my chest, which is a segment, by the way. I'm going to go to something that's currently happening right now with a young rookie quarterback by the name of Caleb Williams in Chicago. It's too early to determine anything. He's 2 games in. In these 2 games, it don't look good, though. Caleb hasn't played well. I don't know if Shane Waldron, the offensive coordinator, is going if they're going to fix it and get it together. But Caleb walked into a completely different situation than Bryce. Chicago had been struggling. I thought the general manager for them, Brian Poles, did a phenomenal job. He signed receivers. He re-signed more. He re-solidified this offensive line, even though it's been a lot of pressure. Okay, he's been getting hit a lot. Signed Keenan Allen, a veteran wide receiver. Obviously, they drafted Rome Meduze from Washington. DeAndre Swift is in the backfield. He got good players around him and supported by a good defense, because if he don't have a good defense, they don't win week 1. Defense played well against the Texans, who they lost to. Defense played well, though. Caleb right now is in a situation organizationally that I don't know what the stability is. It feels like it's solid. It feels like Caleb just has to work himself out of some of the things that he had grown accustomed to at USC, which was some of the concerns before he came out in the draft, trying to improvise, running too long, not playing with time. And I heard it over and over again. I'm not going to claim to be a quarterback play aficionado. All I had to do was study him for 9 years in the NFL, try to figure out how we was going to stop him. So I have some recall. Some of the things that he's doing is, you know how people be saying, "Oh, it's too much. It's too much." That's what it feels like with Caleb sometimes. It's too much. Throw the ball away, man. Throw it out of bounds. Don't take that hit. This ain't a league, Caleb. Let me give you some advice. This ain't a league where you can just lob the ball up in the air, bro. It's hard to do. Unless you got Calvin Johnson down there. It's hard to lob the ball out there. We saw it happen a few times against the Houston Texans. You're gonna have to play with timing. You're gonna have to do things that are boring. It's a good word for it. You're gonna have to do some boring things, like a 3-strip drop, throw the slant, get 6-7 yards, line up again, hand it off. You're gonna have to do some boring things. And then when you go to the exciting and the fantastic, the things that we saw you do at USC, why people had comparisons to Mahomes with your movement and the way you're able to throw on the move. When you have to go to that, let it be because you have to. Sometimes you got to break the pocket and you got to run, you got to slide your ass down, man. And then just line up to play again. So, no, I'm not going to compare the Bryce Young and the Caleb Williams situation to each other right now. Bryce Young was dealt a hand. You know, we always talk about the cards we dealt, and, you know, as old school, you got to play with the cards you dealt. Sometimes the cards you dealt is fine, but other people got baseball bats. That's Bryce Young's situation. Caleb, we don't know what kind of hand you got yet. We still figuring out why you're 2 games in. There's 2 things I want to see from you, though, bro. Go to playing some boring football, playing with some timing as you progress. And then when you do those fantastic things, you still got to make the right decision down there. It's been my damn get it off my chest with Bryce Young. They did everything everything you could possibly think to do wrong with a rookie quarterback that's supposed to be the face of your franchise. The Carolina Panthers they in the dictionary. For all you young folks that don't know what that is, Google it and keep listening to the Swagu Podcast. Like, subscribe, follow. Tap in with the senior questions. Willie from X. Mama named him Willie. I'm going to call him Willie. Great question, bro. Appreciate you getting me into that. My man Jamar Chase had a fit, man. Got to get into it because I love Jamar. I think he's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Obviously, we know that. His talent is crazy. But it's kind of a serious tone to this, because I think what we saw, and I'm talking about the situation that unfolded in the Cincinnati Bengals-Kansas City Chiefs game when Jamar Chase got in the ref's face and got a penalty, and because he thought it was a hip drop tackle on him, which is a big thing in the NFL right now. Hip drop tackles is hurting people. We saw a couple happen this week where people falling into your leg, dropping their weight on you, and it's leading to a lot of ankle injuries, a lot of knee injuries, stuff like that. So they trying to ruin. Jamar was upset because he thought that was the situation. So he got in the referee face and would not leave him. Now, let me give a little context. I understand being pissed off about the potential of being hurt. And he had every right. If he believed that was a hip drop tackle, he had every right to feel like that. But if you ain't been paying attention to the NFL and you're under a rock, Jamar Chase is trying to get a contract done, or was trying to get a contract done with the Cincinnati Bengals because he's earned one. On period. He's earned one. You can make an argument that Jamar Chase has been a top 3 wide receiver since he stepped foot in Cincinnati. He has been the offense. He has been the guy on the offense outside of Joe Burrow to make that thing go. He was in some contract talks this offseason. He was in some contract talks throughout the preseason. He was not practicing. He was at practice, but not practicing. We call that a hold in, which for a dude like me that ain't never been as talented or important to his organization, that seems uncomfortable as hell to me. But that's just me, though. To hold in, I wouldn't even want to see you if I'm trying to get my money and you don't want to pay me. But it seems like they had the deal on the table. They had some things. He didn't like it. It wasn't what he wanted it to be. They wasn't able to get the deal done. Football season starts. He's playing. Hasn't been crazy impactful in the first 2 games. They lost to the New England Patriots. Obviously, we saw him lose against Kansas City last week. But the reaction to the referee and the hip drop wasn't, I don't think that was the basis of it. And this lies the mental part of football. Let me get on the soapbox right quick. So football is a physical sport. Every football player knows throughout the season we probably going to suffer an injury. Maybe not an injury enough to take us out for the season or games, but we know our body's not going to feel good. We know that our production is supposed to give us a certain ability to maximize earning potential. So Jamar Chase is caught in this very precarious situation when it comes to, I'm supposed to be worth $150 million right now. I'm supposed to be making about $30 million, $35 million a year to play wide receiver. But I'm out here playing, still on a rookie contract. And the organization that I thought we would get to an agreement with before the season started, so I can go out here and play freely and not have to worry about that part of my career, we weren't able to get on the same page. Oh, Lord. That's when it get difficult, y'all. Because I got to play because I want to still make the 20, but I'm supposed to be making 35. And I was probably supposed to get a check for about $80 million signing bonus or guaranteed, and a signing bonus for maybe 50. And I don't have it. And I'm out here playing for the people I'm mad at. Because if I don't play, I get fined and I lose money. I'm also making money while I play, but I'm not making the money that I should make. Y'all see how that's a precarious situation. I like the way I say precarious. Precarious. Y'all know what the hell I mean. Jamar Chase in the pickle, man, and I feel him. But the frustration boiled over. That was more than just a football play reaction. It was a reaction to the entire situation. We human. They football players, but they human. And again, I talked about this before. Situation and circumstances matter. He's earned the right to be a $30+ million wide receiver. He's earned the right to get a big signing bonus. He's earned the right to be one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. And he's not that right now. He's pissed off at his organization while he plays. So his energy and focus is not all on the field. It's off the field too. Problem is, off the field, it's with the people that got to pay you. It's hard to be in that situation, y'all. A lot of players go through it. And I know sometimes a lot of y'all get mad. Be like, that's the contract you signed. You should play it out. I'm going to put this in the simplest form for you. As you play and as you progress and as you become successful, the price goes up. And it continuously goes up. And then sometimes you've outplayed it so much as an individual and as a player and as a man You got to go and say, the money that y'all paying me for the production that y'all giving me is a detriment to me because I know I can be injured or hurt at any time. So let me maximize my earning potential because I've outplayed way past what y'all paying me. And this is why I never want people to forget. Because I hear a lot of fans sometimes say, some of y'all that listen to Swagu Podcast, don't stop listening because I'm about to ruffle your feathers. Oh, y'all play for the fans. The fans is why you have a job. Absolutely true. It's a part of it. The bulk of our money come from TV. Do y'all know, while I was in the league, the year we were going to have a lockout, some of y'all can remember that, NFL owners were still going to get paid with no games being played because of TV contracts? If you didn't know that, now you know. Swagu just reported on you. Y'all, I'm intermittent fasting. Before y'all get all in, what the hell you doing with 2 cups? This is black coffee, which I disgustingly despise, but it's good. It's making my belly go down. This is water. I got to dehydrate, hydrate. Burn fat, hydrate. That's why I got 2 cups. Now back to the monies. Jamar Chase deserves his money, man. They got to figure out something how to pay him because I think this energy going to continue and it might spill over and it might cause his production to slip because when you want to play, when you're playing football, you want to play free of frustration based on the things that you felt like you've earned. This is not a good situation in Cincinnati with their best player outside of Joe Burrow. They got to figure it out, man. Jamal, hold your head, bro. You know it's mad love. LSU. We LSU brothers. You know it's mad love, bro. I'm not gonna tell you to handle the situation in a certain way. I'm gonna just tell you don't cost yourself no money. But I can feel your frustration. I understand it, dog. Matter of fact, come on the podcast. We can talk about it. It's my podcast. It's an open forum for you. Talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about. Get your money, man. All right, this leads me to another thing. Something that actually I got to be an OG about to the youngins out here, to my. I'm not even gonna say my peers, to the players that's in the league right now, to the players that's in college. We had a situation in the Philadelphia Eagles game, which is the most current situation, where Drake London, the wide receiver, threw his 2 guns up with his hands and aired out the stadium. And then week 1 of college football, Karen Lacey, the wide receiver for LSU, symbolized pointing guns at a guy from USC after he scored a touchdown. Hey, man, from the OG, y'all got to cut that shit out. It's a bad look. I get it. I get it that it's popular and, I understand that, all of that. It's a bad look, bro. It's a bad look. First of all, you're in the NFL. You ain't no gangster. We can all agree with that. We know some. We come from those neighborhoods and backgrounds. A lot of us do. We know some. But I just don't think it's a good look for you personally as an individual. I'm always thinking about potential to do things beyond football. I'm also thinking about tone. Drake London and Karen Lacey and all the other players that's doing these. I'm thinking about tone. Bro, we having mass shootings in this country. Guns is on the people's mind all the time. We having serious things go on in this country when it involves guns. I don't think that's something that y'all should be doing. This your OG trying to give you some game about the future, your potential earnings, how people may look at you because it matters. Don't just think about the now. But more importantly, have ability to read the room. Just had a school shooting in Georgia. People lost their life. We know about the situations that's going on all over the country when it comes to guns, the conversations that's going on. Man, have some situational awareness, man. Y'all cut that out, man. Stop doing it. If y'all doing it, y'all gonna make the high school and the middle school and the peewee football players think it's cool to do it. We've had shootings at peewee football games. Watch your tone, man. Damn. I thought this was simple. NFL teams, don't leave it up to the league. Coaches, general managers, tell them we don't want the gun celebration. And the real talk is, ain't none of y'all no gangsters. Cut that shit out, man. It's a bad connotation. It's a bad look. It's setting a bad example. And y'all dudes that's in the public eye, y'all gonna be in the public limelight. I don't care if you don't think it's what you signed up for, it's what you signed up for. When you decide to become really good at a job that's very polarizing, or like in Karen Lacey's situation, you're really good at playing wide receiver, you're trying to make your dreams come true and go to the NFL. Man, y'all cut that out, man. All of y'all. I'm saying these two names because these are the ones that come to my mind, but I'm sure it has happened more in college and high school and in the pros. But the pros and the big-time college players, y'all set the tone and the example. I'm 41 years old. Maybe I am getting old, but it's dumb to me. Now, I was going to try to hold my mule on that. But it's ridiculous. Yo, I got to move on to a lighter note after I got that off my chest. Another sport that, you know, as y'all continue to listen and tap in with the Swagu Podcast, y'all know I'm very invested in women's basketball because of my history. But I want to shout out A'ja Wilson, best player in the world. She is phenomenal. I've watched A'ja since she was at South Carolina winning championship. She got a statue. A statue. When you get a statue, you're different. She got a statue in front of South Carolina. Let me read this off to y'all. Let me accomplishments. And she ain't old. This ain't like, oh, we getting to the coronation part of her career. No, A'ja's still rolling. WNBA single season rebound record. 2-time WNBA champion, which to her is the most important. 2-time WNBA MVP. 2-time WNBA defensive player of the year. 6-time WNBA All-Star. 3-time first team All-WNBA. 2-time first team All-Defense. 2021 second team All-Defense. 2020 second team All-Defense. 3-time WNBA blocks leader. 2018 WNBA Rookie of the Year. I told y'all she wasn't old. Rookie in 2018. 2018 first team All-Rookie. 2024 Don Staley Community Leadership Award. 2019 Community Assist Award. All right. That ain't it. That ain't it. International. 2-time Olympic gold medalist. FIBA Women's Olympics MVP 2024. FIBA Women's Olympics All-Star 5. 2020 and 2024. 2-time FIBA Women's World Cup gold medalist 2018, 2022. FIBA Women's World Cup MVP 2022. 2-time USA Basketball Female Athlete of the Year 2015, 2022. In college, South Carolina, John R. Wooden Award 2017, 2018. Naismith College Player of the Year 2017 through 18. Wade Trophy 2017 through 18. SEC Player of the Year 2015, 16, 2016, 17, 27, 17, 18. Player of the Year 3 years in a row. First in points, 2,389, blocks 363 in school history. Basically, A'ja Wilson is a lightning rod, a star, something that we don't see come around often. And here's the thing. I love this conversation between women's and men's sport. If a man had these type of accomplishments already in his career, we would have him plastered on every billboard, and I would. We do. Every ad, every company, every group would want to be a part of them, associate with them. A'ja Wilson changing the game, yo. Her vulnerability, her humility, if you've ever watched her, it resonates with everyday people. She's phenomenal at what she do, but from everybody that I've heard that has contact with her, that has talked to her, I'm going to try to get her on the podcast. She's a phenomenal person who's very in tune with who she is, not only with the things that's great about her, but her flaws. She respects the game. She respects life. Asia Wilson eclipsed the first player in WNBA history to eclipse 1,000 points in a single season. Y'all know how hard it is to score 1,000 points in a season? Let me put this in context for you. We celebrate kids that score 1,000 points in a high school career. And mind you, the WNBA season, what, 4 months? 5 months? Something like that? 1,000 points. And to be dominant on defense, offense, and be a champion, and be a great human. Asia Wilson, we giving you your flowers on Swagu Podcast, man. We're gonna give them to you. We need more of Asia Wilson. All of you sponsors, all of you people out there, all of you people that need a lightning rod that's gonna last for eternity because she in the history books. Y'all need to be associated with Asia Wilson. I'm gonna leave it at that. Congratulations, sister. You're doing your thing. You're gonna continue to do your thing. I pray for health. I pray for peace for you, and you keep it rolling. And you keep being the example for all of these young women out here that want to aspire to be great. That's who you are, man. That's who you are. All right. We just got some news. Just the greatness of having real-time reactions and things happening while you're doing your thing. Adrian Wojnarowski, and I told y'all it's new, just announced that he's retiring from ESPN to go become the general manager for the St. Bonaventure College men's basketball team. First of all, let me get over my emotion because Woj is a real one. Had a number of conversations. I've been able to have dinner with Woj and just chill. We caught up in the hotel. Me, him, and RC caught up in the hotel one night. We just talked about his journey, some of the stories, how you become the insider of all insiders, how you form and develop these relationships that gets you access to a tremendous amount of information, how people trust you with that information. And really it all boiled down to because you're a real dude and you're honest and you're trustworthy and people can count on you. Adrian Wojnarowski, NBA insider, retiring from ESPN and agreeing to become the general manager for the men's basketball program at St. Bonaventure. The chairman and CEO of ESPN, Jimmy Pitaro, this statement he put out. I've known and admired Woj since we first worked together at Yahoo in 2007. His work ethic is second to none. I can vouch for that. He's extraordinarily talented and fearless. He has led the industry at ESPN, and his dedication to the craft and to fans is legendary. While we will miss his daily output, we completely understand his decision to make lifestyle change and slow down a bit. We know he will continue to thrive in this next chapter, and he has our collective gratitude and support. I know Jimmy Pitaro. Jimmy Pitaro is the chairman of ESPN. He meant those words. That wasn't just a run-of-the-mill statement that he put out. All right, let me get my thoughts on Woj, and I'm gonna get y'all out of here, man. It's been a tremendous honor to be able to work at ESPN. I grew up watching ESPN. ESPN was a staple in my household, just like some other brands, but ESPN was it. Stu Scott gravitated me to ESPN. It was fun to watch. It was something new. It was something that, as a player in high school and in college, you wanted somebody on ESPN to say your name. Like you wanted somebody to show you love. You wanted to be on the highlight. You wanted to do something. It was just dope to be able to be a part of that. And I think for a lot of us, man, like you have people that becomes staples of your childhood, people that become so ingrained because of the love of sport that they become like family, a go-to, or somebody that you just grow up with. Woj is that dude. Like he hasn't, like being at ESPN is great and he was phenomenal at his job, but Woj is a institution when it comes to the NBA basketball fans and where you get your news from. He's an institution. But I think it's important to focus on what Woj is doing, stepping away to I'm not gonna act like I know, but to slow down a bit, as Jimmy Pitaro said, and do something else that probably reignites a different type of vibe for him. Maybe gives him a little bit of reprieve from finding out stories and gathering all this information to break news that we all know, which we termed and deemed Woj bombs. It's just a phenomenal life's work that he has left in that space. Now he's going to make an impact in another space, probably less stressful than what he's leaving. But I want to shout out Woj. I want to, and then too, y'all, like, respect that is brave. Like Woj could have been Woj at ESPN until he decided to leave. His resources, his information, the things that he could find out and get to, and the news that he could break wasn't going to change. These were relationships that was formed to last for probably his lifetime. But stepping away takes courage. And stepping away also, when you've evaluated your situation, it's brave. So congratulations, Woj, man. I'm gonna still call you. Woj actually the plug too. He like plug, you know everybody. But congratulations, man. Hell of a run. Hell of a run. The best run to me. I consider Woj the GOAT at reporting and breaking news when it comes to basketball. I consider him the GOAT. I consider him the blueprint. And when he writes a book, if he hadn't written one already, I probably should know that. But this is Swagu. I don't know a lot of things. When he writes a book, I'm going to be the first one to get it. Probably on Audible, though, because I don't like reading the words out. I got to give a shout out, too, after I get done with Woj. My man Julius created some new graphics for the Swagu Podcast. Super dope. We're trying to be innovative. We're trying to be forward thinking. We're trying to look good for y'all. Like Dion said, when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you play good. And when you play good, they pay good. But Julius, appreciate you, man. Mad love to your family. I appreciate it, man. I'm closing out. This has been Swagu Podcast. I think we got to a lot of topics. I enjoyed today. I hope y'all enjoy, family. Remember, like, subscribe, follow. Also send questions on X, Instagram, YouTube. Oh, yeah, we on YouTube, too. Y'all see my pretty face with this dope-ass shirt I'm wearing. One bone, shout out. Mad love, family. I hope y'all have a great day. Make it a great day. Peace and love, peace and blessings. Swagu out.